I answered a car dealer's phone while I was whitewater rafting
Oh,
because they were logged in to sell their first contract. So they had hiccups, but I answered while whitewater rafting.
like while on the raft?
While on the raft. I should have had someone video me, but I'm the only one that brought my phone. I had like one of those protective cases.
Oh my God. I just went whitewater rafting for the first time and trying to imagine being on the phone while doing that. Like, I would be screaming so loud.
That take it. She's like, if you need to take this call, just take the call. She's like, I'll pick up some of your slack. And I did. So.
Oh my God. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Chicks in Charge Automotive Edition. I am Jess.
I'm Shasta.
And today we have a very special guest for you today. She scheduled her travel around this episode for us because you will know her. You will know she is always on the go somewhere. So today we have Cindy Zieba with Ascent Dealer Services. Hi, Cindy.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for coming on the show for us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm happy to be working from home today. As you said, I travel a lot and I try to pack a lot into my travel schedule when I can to maximize everything. So yeah, I'm at home today and it is pouring down rain. So happy to be here.
Yes.
And indoors. Yes.
Yeah. All right. So for those that don't know you and are listening, tell everybody who you are and what solutions you bring to the table.
So my name is Cindy. If you have not met me through social media, I post just a little bit. I actually give a disclaimer to all those, not LinkedIn, because that's supposed to be for, work purposes, but my Facebook. If someone joins my Facebook and friends me, I immediately message them and say, I'm so sorry. I post 3 times a day for work, so I apologize. And then it kind of alleviates that stress of them thinking I'm crazy.
Right.
So I work with Ascent Dealer Services. We are very well known primarily for our coaching, all things F&I. So of course we have all of the products you can imagine, finance specific to offer your dealerships. We're a full stop solution. We help dealers build wealth through those programs and then through our coaching, training, mentorship, and it's just something that we constantly do. So
when would a dealership know that they're ready to reach out to you guys for a solution? Like, I'm having this issue. What is that issue?
In my opinion, it's at a lot of different times. So for instance, I feel like all dealerships could use some sort of a backup solution, especially for vehicles that are high mileage, older year, because having just that one core solution, I feel like not one person is the expert at everything. So if you're not able to offer anything at all to the customer on every single unit you sell, you're kind of doing both them and you a disservice. So that's on a small scale. On a large scale, these dealers have been using their companies for very long periods of time. And it's not just products. They're all tied in with their money, with reinsurance. A lot of them own their own warranties. And so it is a huge operational change. However, something that you were doing 20 years ago and started up, 5, 10, 15 years ago might not be the absolute best thing that's out there. That's the most profitable for you. And it might not be the best thing for the customer anymore. So I feel like it's always good to at least explore your options, shop around, and make sure what you're currently doing is the best thing for you. Period. Yeah, my opinion, but everyone.
It sounds valid though. I mean, we come across a lot of dealerships who have to sell vehicles as is because of the high mileage or the year of the vehicle. And it's good to know that they're not forced to be an as is vehicle or have a customer that's upset because they bought something as is and they didn't understand that is as freaking is. But, you could have had another solution. Right.
Yeah, I get it. I hear it every day. I get it.
So whenever you go into the dealership and you do your initial discovery, we'll call it, what are some of the top 3 things that you're looking for?
Honestly, I like to look at their inventory and see what they're currently selling. I like to come in and ask, what is it that you're currently doing and what do your processes look like? And is there anything that you're missing? Do you have a lot of chargebacks? I kind of try to fact find a little bit and back up into, okay, maybe I do have something for you. Maybe I have absolutely nothing for you, and let's stay friends.
Right. Because I may know other people that
Right.
you do need to work with or something along those lines. Like we do that a lot.
All the time.
Exactly. And we're all things F&I, so that doesn't necessarily mean that I don't know how to help you in your other departments, right? Because finance products help all of the departments stay cohesive. It fuels your service department. And I mean, even the BDC, everyone should be working together to get to that end goal.
That's true. So before I ever had a chance to meet you, I think the first time I met you in person was in February at By Appointment Only Part 1. We were obviously connected on social media. You do a lot on social media, videos, posts, sharing what
Everybody knows Cindy.
Yeah, sharing what Ascent has going on, sharing what you have going on, videos of your dogs.
Yes.
And that's not an easy feat. Like having an active social media presence is almost a full-time job in itself. How are you juggling that?
Well, I honestly just do it. Not recently, I guess over a year ago, I invested in a life coach. So that was extremely helpful in my personal life and in my business. And then, of course, I work with Adam Marburger, and he is number one Mr. Accountability. So he told me, if you do this, you will be more successful. And if you do not, that's fine. You're just going to be less successful. You're going to make less money. You're going to help less people. And it's you get what you put into it. So I just do it because I know that I have to. And I have learned that it's okay and people will accept you, even though I, again, put those disclaimers and tell people, sorry, I do this for work. But I want to help as many people as possible.
So we all know that Adam is the CEO of Ascent Dealer Services. My question for you now is, what is it like working with Adam? Because he's such a great human in the industry. We love him. He's one of our very greatest friends. But what is it like actually working for him?
Honestly, he is awesome. I
can imagine.
I feel like in this industry, prior to working with him, the companies that I was with were never really like the perfect fit for me. And in between my last job, which was doing something very similar, and picking Ascent, I was looking for the type of team that has the same culture, the same values as I do, people that are progressive and want to learn and do more in the industry to actually help people. Because everyone out there, again, has products, but they're all the same. It's who's backing that product and whose support it is that you have, and making sure that all of their things align is what's right. So our personalities, in my opinion, are very similar. When Adam wants and sets his mind to something, he's like, okay, I have to have it now. Like I needed this 5 days ago, and the sky is falling until it happens. And I'm very much the same. So it's nice that I share that with someone, because before I thought I'm the crazy person, but okay, when my dealers need something, I will literally drop everything and make sure they're taken care of. So it's like a double-edged sword. It's good in a way, bad in a way, but I am what you're getting. So
well, and that's what they want. I mean, so often a dealer will, encounter an issue and they want it fixed freaking now. And, I've
come to know they can pick up the phone and get a hold of somebody.
I've come across companies that, okay, well, we'll add it to our list of things. And then it may be a week before you hear an update on, you're like, no, I need this now. Like right now, yesterday, last week.
Right. I'm fine with that. I come from like the customer service side. I worked in the restaurant industry before Automotive. And then before that, I worked in a nursing home, CNA, bottom of the barrel. So I like taking care of people. I like selling things. I like making sure you've had the best experience possible. And it's just kind of who I am. So I use that in my everyday.
Was this your first real sales role?
No, I mean, not technically. I worked in the restaurant industry for 10 years. With them, I did every role, including opening 3 restaurants in Florida.
Whoa.
And then after I worked for a few companies in automotive, some marketing specific, That chat pop-up thing on dealership websites, I sold that to dealers. I worked with a startup company that was very sales process driven. So I worked a lot with like sales and making sure I streamlined processes for dealers. And then I worked with a company, I guess just not as progressive, doing the same thing, all things F&I. So I've been in the industry and selling, but this is definitely my favorite of all.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we know and love your dogs that you post all the time. But my question, I guess, is what is your why? Why do you wake up every day and hustle and take the time to go to these stores and put as much of you into it as you do?
I just think it's honestly, it's who I am. It's my background. My family is from Poland. So my dad he flew into New York. He looked up in the phone book people with Polish last names, and literally that's how he got his start. He asked for help. And he found a family that let him stay with them, and he kind of got his feet on the ground and established himself. But I feel like everything I do is kind of just to be able to set my life up, have a family, and do the same thing that my dad did for me. I love helping others. I love helping others grow. It makes me feel good, and that's kind of my why.
I like that.
That's awesome.
So, speaking of helping people grow, you are going to, by the time this episode airs, so by the time anybody's listening to this right now, this event has already happened. So sorry. But by appointment only is coming up in a couple of weeks, and you were at the last one. And I was shocked to see you there just simply because you're not in the BDC space. And I was like, but it is in your backyard, and you have a lot of value to bring to the table. You're going to get to be on the panel this time, but you were just an audience member last time. What was some of your biggest takeaways from that even not being in BDC, you were able to implement?
Well, so I am probably the only one with my agency that has not physically worked in a dealership, although I've worked with dealers now for almost 10 years. So it's nice to see others reiterating everyone working cohesively, the departments all having to work together, putting in processes and procedures and using your CRM. It was just a good refresher for me that this is what makes everything successful, right? Whether I'm sitting in the box in F&I, whether I'm working in a BDC, whether I'm doing what I'm doing F&I, it's all essentially the same process. And I think that was my biggest takeaway, just like hearing all of the things, all of the steps, all of the, departments working again. One can't work really well without the other contributing, and having just that team is so important.
Well, we're all in sales, just in different seats, honestly. I mean, whether we're, selling the maintenance of services or selling fresh services, we're all selling something.
Right.
Yeah, but you don't have any idea how many times I walk into stores and someone's walking into the F&I office just to ask a question and they're screaming at someone to get out. That's not my job. You go do this. And it's just while like cold calling and stuff. A lot of my stores don't do this, but a lot of stores out there do. And it's like when something happens in the service department, they're pointing their finger back at you. And I don't know, it's just, I feel like people need to do this better in this industry.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you feel, and I have to watch the way I structure this question because it's not an attack by any means, but I'm genuinely curious because you are a woman that often goes into these dealerships. Are you treated any differently than your male colleagues, or have you ever had an experience where you were?
I mean, because I'm so social media driven, of course, sometimes I'll get the messages that are annoying, but it's not that often. And in stores, I feel like people know me enough that they know if they mess with me or say anything wrong, like I am not gonna put up with it.
Right.
So, maybe before, like earlier in my career, but now I feel like I've earned the respect and I kind of correct people real quick when they start. So
that's so important.
I think we've done a lot in the last several years to really help drive the industry forward and make this a much more inclusive space.
For sure.
And I think that we're seeing people of all walks of life in different areas of the dealership, different areas of partners. And it's kind of beautiful to see, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think, aside from, obviously we know that you have a heart to serve, we know that you love helping other people, but aside from that, what is your favorite part about what you do?
I mean, I just love getting up and going to work, honestly. I feel like
That's
no
such a good thing.
day is the same day. Everything is always different. Someone's always throwing something at me, and it is about helping. Like, at the end of the day, the dealers that I'm partnered with, their customers are my customers. So if they have an issue that's like 911, even if it's not, and they need my help, I feel so good knowing that they can pick up the phone, call me, and I'm the only one that's picking that phone up on the first ring. Maybe not right now because I'm in the middle of this podcast. Like, text me and I'll call you right back.
Right.
But it feels good because as easy as it seems, just pick up your phone. People don't do it.
Right.
They don't. I have come into stores and taken over business where they're like, yeah, our rep never even came in here. And it's not even about coming in and like dropping off the donuts. And I know I talk a lot about that because I like to cook food. It's not about them just coming in and dropping the stuff off and leaving. It's about true like income development and helping move the needle. And a lot of dealers out there are not taking full advantage of the things that they're actually paying for. Like, these fees are stuffed into the deals, are stuffed into what you're paying for. And if you're not getting that, then shame on you. Please call
Right.
me.
Right.
That's true. I've seen it so many times.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking a bit offline before we started recording. And we shared a little bit of our hilarious past in starting the show, and something that we have in common, which is a fear of being on camera.
Yes.
Which you would think, seeing us do this every week, that you're like, oh no, no wait, oh yeah, it still happens.
Yep.
And we were talking with you a lot. You're behind the camera so much, and always doing videos, sharing about what Ascent does, sharing about your personal life.
And you make it look so easy.
You do. And people wouldn't know that, like, behind the scenes, that you're, freaking out and am I doing this right? Am I handling this? Right. And I think one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this up is because it relates to so many people out there who aren't doing video because they're afraid, or because, what if I mess up? Or what if, God forbid, I don't look perfect? One of those things. What would you say has driven you to keep doing it even in face of the fear?
Well, Adam told me in the beginning, if you do this, if you follow my process, I promise you it will not pay off in 6 months. It will not pay off in a year. It might not pay off in 2 years. But I promise you, if you follow the process, it will pay off. So it's just something that I've always kind of made myself do. And it is now paying off because people are reaching out to me now to ask about specific products or coaching because they've seen me so much kind of beat them upside the head with it, that I'm the first person that they think of. And although I do not like doing it, in the beginning, on my calendar, wrote out like I have to make 2 posts a day. I have to do 1 video a week. I have to do 1 live thing a week. And I just kind of made sure by the end of the week I had checked off all of those things. And if I fell short, I reevaluated for the next week and I forced myself. And now, because I did it for so long, it's just kind of like habit. And I almost feel bad when I'm like taking a lazy day and I don't post something, or like on a Sunday, if I'm not posting something, I'll be like, maybe I should, just because I'm so used to it now. So just do it. Just make it a priority, write it down, make it happen. I promise you, in a year or 5 years from now, it's all going to be paying off. It'll be fine.
It's true.
How long have you been with Ascent now?
Almost 3 years.
So do you think that it's paid off so far?
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's starting to. I mean, again, I like for people to know that I'm there for them and that I am going to be as loyal to them as they should be to me. I feel like by posting every single day, it shows my work ethic and just some of me, and it's really you that they're buying. So can't hide behind, all of these zillion posts that I've made are not fake. So
that's true.
Yeah.
What do you think would attribute to your success with Ascent up to this point?
I've heard you called the Beast of the Northeast.
Yes.
I do like that nickname, but I'm from Tampa Bay, so I'm like,
Beast of the Southeast.
There we go.
Beast of the East.
yeah, I love the nickname. Obviously, my team is something that I absolutely love, and just having that culture that fits who you are just makes everything easier. Like, I don't wake up any day thinking like, ugh, I have to go to work and ugh, I have to do this.
Right.
I just really truly enjoy it because I picked and finally found the thing that I guess I love. And I coupled that with now working with the best humans ever. So it's just all kind of falling into place.
I love that.
It's funny, like so many of these episodes and interviews that we do will remind me of like one of the motivational sayings out there. And that just reminded me of do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Yep.
It's true.
Yep.
It's true.
I think that's probably true with us too. Like,
oh yeah. Without a doubt.
I think I worked like 2 hours extra over last night. Like everybody was out of the office and I was still here.
When you text me, I was like, it's 6 o'clock.
I was still going, and I haven't done that in so long, but like, you know, it's just, I don't mind it. Like,
yeah. I mean, and I'm the same way, even though I've got my 3 young kids at home, as soon as I get home and they're settled, like my laptop's back out and I'm back doing whatever I need to do because I don't mind it. I don't mind doing it. I was up until 11 o'clock last night writing out marketing plans. So, I mean, I think the automotive industry, when you find your home there, you stay.
Yeah. And a lot of dealers, I feel like maybe not a lot, but some dealers might judge like we're just the vendors, right? We have our regular hours. We don't work weekends. Like,
yep. Yes, we do. Just because we're not physically office.
They FaceTime me. I have people FaceTime me just to catch me to see.
Yes.
Makeup on right now? Yeah, we have valid questions, but let's see. Nonstop, morning to night, weekends, holidays. I was literally on a family vacation for the 4th of July. I answered a car dealer's phone while I was whitewater rafting because they were logged in to sell their first contract. So they had hiccups, but I answered while whitewater rafting.
Like while on the raft?
While on the raft. I should have had someone video me, but I'm the only one that brought my phone. I had like one of those protective cases.
I just went whitewater rafting for the first time and trying to imagine being on the phone while doing that. Like I would be screaming so loud.
That take it. She's like, if you need to take this call, just take the call. She's like, I'll pick up some of your slack. And I did. So
oh my God, that's funny.
I wish there would have been video of that. That would be the only marketing you need.
Yeah, for sure.
That's hilarious.
That is great.
We work, guys.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, absolutely. We work all the time. And I feel like, I mean, obviously we have some vendors out there that don't live up to the integrity or align as they should. But I feel like the ones that do, it doesn't matter if you call them at 9 p.m. on a Saturday or Sunday, they're going to answer their phone or they're going to call you back.
Agree. You just have to find the right fit for you.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So Cindy, what is one piece of advice that you would give somebody up and coming in this industry?
First, find the right home. Because culture is absolutely everything. And if you're going to go somewhere with others who have the wrong mindset, who do not want to be positive and work as a team, it's probably the wrong fit. And it could ruin you at the beginning of the industry and make you not want to be in automotive. So just make sure that you find the right fit first. And then work as hard as you can to get to where you want to be. Set those goals and then reverse engineer them. How can I get there? Ask for help. Ask your managers, no matter what you're doing, whether you're working in a store, whether you're a vendor, this is the goal that I want to achieve. Help me get there. And I promise you, it will be a lot easier. You'll have more fun and then you'll be stuck in this industry just like us.
Yep. I heard it at Women in Automotive. Someone said the reason why we come to this industry and stay is because the oil gets in our blood.
Oh yes.
And I've held true to that ever since. And I'm like, well, that makes sense because most of the people that I talked to didn't end up here on purpose. Like they didn't always. I want to go be in the car business. No, like we all accidentally stumbled here, and then it was like quicksand that never let us go.
Right.
I agree. I agree. It's amazing.
What was the transition like? I mean, I know it's customer service, no matter where you go, whether it's healthcare or hospitality, or automotive, customer service is customer service, but what was the transition like from the healthcare and hospitality realm over into auto?
Well, it was a little bit of a bumpy ride. I worked for a startup company to start out. But I always had others kind of watching what I was doing, saying like, come over here, come do what we're doing. And so everyone always convinced me that their thing was the shinier thing. Come sell over here because we think you'd be great at it. Until I, of course, met Ascent. And now kind of the rest is history. I'm never going anywhere, so don't try to take me.
If you do try, we'll come for you.
I can't be bribed. But I mean, it's not that different. In the restaurant industry, someone only has so much money to come out to eat and spend in your restaurant, or let's say $500 a month. So if they're there spending $200 of it, you better make sure that you're giving the best damn experience that they have ever had, because this might be it. This might be the only dinner or two dinners that they get out. So I just kind of take it all the same. I think that this might be actually helping people more, because not all customers that come into a dealership, of course, they're there to buy a car, but no one wants to be sold any of these extras, right? All of the products, but customers need the products, especially some of the things that I heavily push, like the high mileage VSC. If there's a customer in your seat buying a car that has over 100,000 miles, they're buying it because they don't have the option to be able to purchase a brand new car or something with 50 or 60,000 miles. They're kind of stuck having to purchase this vehicle. So by not selling them all of the extras, you're doing them a disservice, because then when something actually does happen, they're the one in the worst place. So I feel like I'm truly actually helping people because I've been there. I can't imagine, someone breaking down and even having a $2,500 fix that they can't afford. So they're putting on a credit card, but now that credit card has 25% interest. And then eventually they get down to paying it. Like, just buy all of the stuff in the beginning and have the peace of mind, and have your service department now happier because the customer has the warranty. They're not upset. They're not crying because they don't have the money. It all just kind of goes full circle.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I've even been there myself where, on every car I buy, I at least buy Gap. But sometimes they'll offer up the tire and wheel or the other extended warranties. And I'm like, I'll never need that. I drive fine. And then you drive over a nail or three and you're like, shit, I wish I would have bought that.
Done that.
The nail's in the wrong place, so they can't patch your tire, but now you have to buy 2 tires. Oh, you also dented your rims. Now you need 2 rims. Yep. And then time before that I was in Florida, I bought key care for my car because the keys are freaking expensive.
Oh my God.
I bought key care thinking, of course I'll lose at least one of the keys. So I bought it. Oh, my key locked into my door. As I was putting my takeout into the front seat and putting my purse in, it's like 10 p.m. at night on 420. I'm like, these people are going to think that I'm smoking or something, which I don't. But it's fine if you do. I don't do it. My key locked in my car. I'm rubbing my body against the car thinking it maybe will be able to sense me or something. Like, that's not supposed to happen. It did. My key locked in my car. So at least I didn't have to pay out of pocket to have the key people come and do my car. But it's like, you don't think about it, but not being inconvenienced to me is the biggest thing. So
yeah, I love that.
It is really the smallest things.
Where can people contact you if they want to reach you after the show or at any point just to connect, or if they have more questions about Ascent, where can people reach you at?
Well, if you are not already linked with me, you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I have a TikTok that I also make myself post on. Find me on any of those platforms and DM me, and you should be able to find me because I literally post 3 times a day. Also, I apologize in advance because you'll see all of those posts.
It's funny because you taught me something last week that is probably like duh for your neck of the woods, but I didn't know that there were still gas stations that pumped your gas for you.
I didn't either.
Yeah, so my gas station diaries also. Thank you, Michael Engel, for the hashtag gas station diaries. I I'm from Florida. They don't pump your gas there either. And now I'm in New Jersey, just over the bridge from Philly and Cherry Hill. And let me tell you, it is the best, most convenient thing ever. Everyone can judge all they want, including the men that are like, oh, of course these women need their gas. No, no. It can be pouring rain like today. It can be freezing cold, sleeting, snowing, hot as heck. You go outside, you melt, you're touching all of the dirty things. Also, you can't continue on with your day. So yes, I do my gas station diaries, and I get a hoot out of, someone pumping my gas for me. And then of course, when I travel, having to do it myself is extremely inconvenient. So
do you have to pay more for them to pump it for you?
What?
Do you have to pay more for them to pump it for you?
No, the gas is actually cheaper here than a lot of places in the US. You don't, but I have like the same gas place that I go to when I'm leaving my house. So occasionally I'll tip them like $20 because it'll be the same person.
Right.
So maybe quarterly I'll give each of the people money, because now when they see me, they run to my car first. They know like, oh, she's here and she's on her way to work and she's got to get out of here. And she's also tipping us. So customer service.
I wish we had one of those here. Is it all the Wawas?
Okay, so it's not Wawa. I love because it's just like a Philly thing, and I'm all things like Philadelphia Eagles. I love Philadelphia. So Wawa is a Philly thing. And all of the gas stations will pump your gas in Jersey. I just find that Wawas are the best. And so I also try to find those in other states as well, because it makes me feel like home.
That's awesome.
I like that.
That's super cool.
I also love, it's nice having another fellow female in the industry that's so football eccentric. I don't know that I know a male that is as big of an Eagles fan as you are, which is another male dominated space in sports. And so it's fun getting to watch football season. And I love the Eagles too. Like, and I hate that Jason Kelce just retired, because like he's one of my favorite players just as a personality. And so it's nice getting to watch your fandom play out too.
Thank you. And I agree, but I know a lot of crazy Eagles fans here, so it's kind of nice. I have even one of my dealers that I'm partnered with is the official sponsor for the Philadelphia Eagles, for the 76ers. I know I'm like in love, and sometimes he will send me to some of the stuff and activities, and it's just
send me everywhere.
Yeah, everyone's crazy about the Eagles here, just like me. So it was kind of a natural fit for me to move here, at least for a little while.
Is it hard to get season tickets?
Yes. It's extremely hard to get season tickets. There's also a seat license. So if you're wanting like better seats, you have to actually pay for this seat license, right? That then you own for the rest of time until then you sell it. But the better seats, it's like some of these seat licenses are like 10,000, 15, 20 for a seat license, in addition to the money spent on the season tickets, in addition if you want like club seats and stuff. So yeah, if you're an Eagles fan, you live in Philadelphia, you want to take me to any games, I'm sure it'll be worth it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I know the Chiefs keep winning Super Bowls, and now the ticket prices are like like ridiculous expensive.
Well, because Taylor Swift goes to the game, so now
you're paying for Taylor.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm happy that I'm not a Chiefs fan, because then I would have to have the ticket prices.
Right. Yeah. No, it's funny. I was talking with one of our guys here in the BDC the other day, and he wanted to surprise his parents with going to a game. And he's like, I was just trying to buy 3 tickets. And like, even the crappiest game that nobody wants to watch, like I can't afford nosebleeds. And I'm like, I couldn't either. Like, don't feel bad. Like, even if I could afford it, I wouldn't. Like, that's like a mortgage payment. So no, I'll watch it from home.
Yeah. Well, find the dealer that's partnered with the Chiefs and see what you can do.
We're close enough.
Yeah.
We should.
Yeah.
That is true. All right, Cindy. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come on with us today. We really do appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Love you, ladies.
No problem. In a world where you can be anything, be kind, because you never know what battles others are facing. So whenever you go out into the world this week, remember to light it up. I'm Jess.
I'm Shasta.
And that's Cindy. And we've been the Chicks in Charge. Yay, you've made it this far. And if you want to help the chicks out and add some value, make sure you subscribe right now.
Click that little red button down below. Do it. Do it now.